I do want to talk about Fnatic a little bit because we touched on them a bit at the beginning, but your point about them kind of always throwing. Another reason, like people will look at Noah and say like, oh, he's the one who needs to be replaced. But I mean, Humanoid had some massive leads in some of these games, and he's so cavalier with his
Oh, it's
leads. Like
wild,
he
isn't it?
feels like he has to overextend, make the play. He gives up huge bounties. Remember the game he was dominating on LeBlanc and he just gave up the bounty to Jacula for no fucking reason.
Here's the analogy. Since you like to do this angle, I'll take it with you. Here's the analogy. It's not a thing nowadays because now, I don't know, sexual degeneracy is just par for the course in the modern world. But believe it or not, when me and Monty were young'uns growing up, actually there was a lot of like shame surrounding sexual topics, right? Here's the analogy. Humanoid isn't the guy who just wants to like succeed, Monty. He wants to get away with it. This guy is doing danger wanks all the time. He's doing that thing where you know that, is that someone at the door? Ooh, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's see what they find when they come in. He just going for, because I agree. Every time he has a big lead, he has to like at least like go. It's like he's taunting someone, like, go on, try and take it from me. Take it from me. Take it from my hand. Like, and then if you can get it, it's like, well, shit, I didn't expect that. But mate, the amount of times he just gives you the way back in, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and he gets the leads. It's just a matter of playing them out. But Fnatic really has no idea. And then also on top of that, their lane swapping has been super hilarious. Like I talked about this on Power Spike, Thorin, but one of the funniest parts of that last series was, so it was game 4 between Team Liquid and Fnatic. And remember that Fnatic was subjected to lane swaps by G2 before most other teams experienced them. So you'd think, well, they probably have figured this shit out at this point in time, right? So I had to watch in game number 4 when we literally see that and Impact are in the mid lane, and Yun and Core JJ are proxying the wave. So they crash the wave into turret. There's literally 3 waves of minions in the top turret. So Team Liquid have initiated a lane swap. They push 3 lanes into the turret, and then they start proxying the next wave. And the Chinese observers are basically mocking Fnatic because they have a picture-in-picture in the lower right corner of the screen that's just a turret with nobody around it, 3 waves of minions, and you just saw Impact and in the mid wave. And I'm like, is Oscar going to TP to this wave? No. Where was Oscar? I couldn't see. I was flipping out when I was doing my VOD review. I was like, where the fuck is he? Because he was covering the mini-map. Do you know where he was, Thorin? He was auto-attacking bot turret with Noah and nobody else, playing Cassante. He was just autoing bot turret, and he let 3 waves that were free. Remember, they could not have dove him. Just crash into that turret. And I'm like, really? This is the way that we're going to lose this series? Right? You had a huge potential advantage here. And we can't use TP. It's like the cross map doesn't exist. So I think it's been really depressing to watch this. Like, people will talk about Oscar's glow up or like his Camille games, but what about his map awareness? Not there. So I don't know. I think this Fnatic roster is pretty washed, but unfortunately the GMing in Europe has been so bad that there's not even really anybody to contest them. That's what's depressing about LEC. It's that this iteration of Fnatic was somehow the second best team that we could have gotten here. It really is a 1-team region.
Thing is, though, I'll tell you what, BDS would have been even worse. So at least for that gave you the highs. You got to soar with them temporarily before Danger Wank fucking Humanoid gets caught with his pants down, literally. Oh my god! Oh no! I've been naughty again. Oh, I've seen this too many times.
I don't know. This version of Fnatic is not it for me, man. Like I don't think that they're going to be able to come back within the context of international play. And as long as they're hitting internationals, it just is more of an indictment of the rest of the region, in my opinion. So I think LEC has a lot of issues, and they need to concentrate their star power more. Like, it's outrageous that they could have spent so much money over the last few years on these various super teams and just have no results. Like, I think Carmine Corp, people look at the fan base and they say, oh, this team should be good. They have no money. They have no fucking money to spend on this road. They spent all their money on the slot. Now they have no money. Like, I don't think Fnatic has money, so nobody can create a super team, and the super teams that existed fucking sucked. Now we're just in the depressing G2 reality. And here's the other thing. It's depressing for G2 as well, because if there's no domestic competition, they're never going to be able to get good enough to challenge internationally. They have to have real rivals.
Yeah, but that's also where I'll give mad props to G2. I'm so impressed that they do manage to just shadow box themselves. Like, it's actually quite impressive that they keep their level high. They not only take care of business, but they come international and they never punch his chance. Very legit.
But here's the black pill take. They were able to at least go to Korean boot camp this time. Worlds is in Europe this year. So do you go to Korea boot camp there and then come back? Like, if you stay in Europe, I don't think there's a chance you do well at Worlds. I think you have to go and get the better practice. So that's always the problem with Worlds being in a Western region, is that the Western teams then have to decide whether or not they're going to actually go to Korea to boot camp prior to going to Worlds or not, which is a tough call to make, because the Asian teams never leave before they have to. So it's not like they're going to come to Europe and you're going to have good, scrim opponents weeks in advance. That's not going to happen. So I feel like that is one of the key factors of Western teams underperforming in their home regions. I haven't done the year by year analysis, but it feels like when it's in Asia, the Western teams typically do better.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.